Yes, welcome to Rinse FM, guys. And this is an International Women's Day special collaboration with the Red Roses. Now, if you don't know who the Red Roses are, you should be very upset and ashamed with yourself. But they are the women's England rugby team, aka the best in the world. And we're not tooting our own horns here. We're just being very honest. I think it's only right that we get you guys to introduce yourselves.
So my name's Shaunagh Brown. I play for Harlequins in England and I'm a prop forward.
I'm Ellie Kildunne. I also play for Harlequins in England and I'm a fullback.
I'm Sadia Kabeya. I play for Loughborough Lightning and I'm a back row.
Okay. Well, guys, if you don't know, currently right now is the Men's Rugby Six Nations. And on the 26th of March, the women's is going to kick off as well. Now, we briefly did cover that you guys will be playing against Scotland. And it's an away game, I'm assuming. Yeah, an away game. Look at me. I got that. And we were just briefly speaking about nerves as well. And you guys were saying that you don't get nervous anymore. That sounds really crazy, but you guys didn't hear the backstory. Obviously they did get nervous now, but because they're used to it, there's just, the pressure's a nice feeling, I guess. So I wanted to take it back to when you used to get nervous when you'd start a game. Like, how did you work through that? And how ultimately did you get to the point where you no longer get nervous?
I think for me, nerves are a good thing, and it's that sort of belly turning moment, and we still get it, but I've learned to almost accept it and go with it. And that's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean I need to worry. Like, it's part of the process. And growing up, you would get nervous because other people would put pressure on you. And then it's then taking a hold of that pressure and doing it yourself. So you can put pressure on yourself. Like, nobody, especially as an elite athlete, nobody else can be more critical of you than you. Like, I truly believe we are our own biggest critics. Like, we will always find fault in ourselves, not only as athletes, but as women as well. So it's like taking a hold of that and owning it and working with it rather than letting it be the thing that stops you doing something.
For me, I played sevens, so you've got sevens and 15s. We all play 15s now, so it's 15 aside.
Yeah.
But I played 2 years of sevens, and I used to get really nervous of getting tired because you absolutely kill yourself in sevens, and it used to get to me. I thought, God, this is going to absolutely kill me, and I'd get really nervous about that. But when I came to 15s and through that training, I got fitter and fitter, and for me, it was more, well, if I'm tired, everyone else will be absolutely shattered. So I used to need to touch the ball. So before the game would start, especially in sevens, I'd run over and touch the ball just so I had the grip because I didn't want to drop the ball.
Yeah.
So that was the only nerves I had. I play a lot on confidence, and I always think that'll carry you through. So not completely, but if I stand there with confidence, I'll be able to beat a player before touching the ball because they're already going to be on the heels thinking, oh God, she's going to run around me or she's going to step me. Yeah. So I try to hold myself.
She definitely
Sorry,
will.
I can confirm.
She will do that.
That is true.
Yeah, I've just got this thing where I've just got to hold myself really, really confident, even in the warm-up before, and just think, oh God, everyone's going to be looking at me thinking, she looks so confident. And then I feel good going into the game.
What about you?
I think the most nervous I ever got for rugby is when I was actually in school rugby. I think going to school tournaments and everyone was new to the game. Everyone was just trying to prove themselves, and I think I would get so nervous because I was trying to prove myself within the team. But as you go through and as I'd developed in my career and got to Prem, as soon as I got to Prem rugby, as soon as I found my place in the team, nerves just went away. But I think that's with Ellie, same with confidence. Just being confident in yourself and being confident in your ability. Like, I know now what my strengths are, what my weaknesses are, and how I can affect a game and how I can help my team. So I think just finding where your strengths lie and knowing, in yourself what your strengths are and what you're good at, I think that's where my nerves have just gone. Because now I play for the fun of it, and every game I know that as long as I'm calm and I'm relaxed, I know what I can do and I know what I'm going to do. So I think that's why now I don't get nervous, and it's quite funny to look back and see that in the school games I would be absolutely pooing my pants, and now for an international game I'm absolutely fine. But I think through that found confidence is where my nerves have just disappeared.
So girls, I'm not gonna lie, super gassed that it's gonna be on the BBC, that you guys can watch it, but also the tournament is gonna be sponsored by TikTok as well. I'm super gassed, and I know I don't know if you guys know, but I love TikTok. Tell me what you guys' favorite TikTok moments or trends are.
I quite like the ones where, like the school teacher ones, or
boys.
They hit the nail on the head. And I think it's actually talking about it now. There could be something in rugby that we can do with that. Whether the coaches see it or not, I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm not sure, but yeah.
What are some of your favourite TikTok moments, if you have any?
Like for me, social media is almost like the beast. And I try not to get too involved. Whilst I am on pretty much all social platforms, I feel like I need to manage my time on it. So I don't like scrolling for hours on end. And I know that's what all platforms want you to do. But again, it's that me taking control of a situation. And yes, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Twitter. But it's under my terms.
All of them.
Yeah. I mean, even Facebook for my mum and her friends.
Fair enough.
That share it. But yeah, it's about taking hold of it. And yes, there's a few things that do make me giggle. And then I'll try and... It's also a way to get involved with people who don't see you on a day-to-day basis, like in fan engagement, and I fully appreciate that. And even a way for them to contact you because, they don't have your phone number, hopefully. Hopefully they don't know where you live, so it's just a way to contact you. But yeah, it's about managing it, but also having fun with it and not turning it into a chore.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I love TikTok. Shock. I love sitting on my phone and scrolling.
It's a trap. You can literally be scrolling for hours.
Yeah, exactly.
It is a big trap, and I've fallen right into it. A big hole. But I think my favourite TikToks are like fashion TikToks, the ones where they do their like fit checks.
Yeah.
That's one like my favourite TikToks.
So today, guys, I'm wearing this. Jump on my hands. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. No, I love it. I love it.
Don't really post.
You do post?
I post sometimes. I have a lot of drafts.
Dance routines. Are there any dance routines in the drafts?
Maybe. But no, I just like the fun of it. I like, especially if you're like doing dances with other people. There's quite a few people on the team now at Loughborough who enjoy making dance TikToks, and it's a way to like bring the team together.
Yeah.
I like to
don't
sit
try.
in the back and
Don't try.
watch.
Use that as an excuse. If you do dancing TikToks, this is a safe space. We love that for you.
Okay. I'll admit.
I was actually practicing griddy.
Oh, no.
This morning. I've got a big mirror in my room. I thought that might. Shall I just try it? No one was in. And I stopped straight away. I was like, I won't try that again.
This is not a bit of me.
New try celebration, Ellie.
Right,
my other issue is I can't dance to save my life.
But so I feel like that's what TikTok's for. Like people, would probably laugh at you, but it's like not in like a rude like way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's still go viral.
Yeah, you probably would go viral as well.
Maybe I'll show you a video later and you're like, that's the right decision. No dancing, Shaunagh.
It's funny because you said that you really like the teacher kind of like impressions, and you're actually playing with your old PE teacher.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
For me, I think it's doesn't feel weird. It feels pretty normal, because I think in school you always have different relationships with your PE teacher than you do with your English or science teacher.
Yeah, were you like the favourite student?
I wouldn't say no, because I think Bryony would disagree if I said that. But and I was always a sporty kid growing up, so I was always in and out of all the sports and always in the PE department all the time.
Yeah.
So when I did my first time training with Bri was in summer during pre-season. For me, it felt pretty normal. It was pretty funny actually, but I think she might have felt a little bit uncomfortable in training when I'd be tackling her, or or she'd be running into me. But
child.
Anyway,
go leave. But I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a really good story, and it shows how what effect PE teachers have on their students, and in terms of sport and careers. Like without Bri, I probably would not be playing for or have played for England now. So yeah,
that's actually a good way to look at it. I was also thinking I feel like even when I still see my teachers to this day, I'm like, I know I'm an adult, but do I say sir? Do I say, do you know what I mean? Do I say miss? So I know your name. Like, hey William, they're looking at me like, what's going on here? But that's so good to hear. And also just focusing on the school aspect of things. I feel like obviously everybody went to school here clearly and studied PE or, had PE classes as well. But I would definitely say that rugby wasn't a sport that was pushed in my school in particular. What about the way you guys studied? Was it pushed where you were?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No. I went to school in the middle of New Cross, so...
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Addy and Stanhope. Fantastic school. Love it. Brown uniform, if you don't know. Brown uniform in the middle of New Cross Road. But just practically, there was no grass. So therefore, the full contact version is out of the game. game. And yes, we do have tag and touch versions, but again, it's just that association with rugby. It's very much a private school boys, like posh boys.
Yeah,
it wasn't for us, and I don't know why. Like because it essentially, like football, you just need a ball, and you could play some forms of rugby, but yeah, it wasn't anything I knew about growing up, and yeah, it was just something posh boys did, and I was not a posh
boy. Yeah,
so football wasn't for me.
What about you, Ellie?
For me, so I did go to private school, but up in Yorkshire, and there was a lot. So the school is Woodhouse Grove, and it was like known for rugby.
Okay,
but there was no girls' team, and I played rugby from the age of 6. So I went in, and they said, "Oh, well, on games you've got to go play netball." I was like, netball?
Yeah.
And they were like, well, no, you have to play netball. You're not allowed to play rugby. And I just kept saying, no, I play rugby. I play rugby. And fortunately, I played with a boy in my year, and his dad was the coach, and he went in and said, look, she plays rugby. She's quite good at it. Just let her in. So I played one game and was put straight into the B team. And everyone was like, oh, God, there's a girl. I ended up scoring 3 tries.
Oh, wow.
And I ended up going straight to the A team. But the person that got knocked out and come back into the B team was, you know the kid at school who, in year 7, in year 7, they've already hit puberty. They're about 6 foot tall, big beard, and the ones that you're like, oh God, when did he hit puberty?
Yeah.
And he was the one to go down to the beach. I was not a favourite in the team because I mean all the boys wanted that man, and instead they got a little girl coming into the team. So I then went into the A team, and I stayed with them for the year, and then had an opportunity to play down a year. But in school they keep the same coach for the year, and the year later when I was in year 8 playing for year 7s, a lot of the teachers in the other schools complained because I was scoring so many tries, and then they got the rules changed so I wasn't allowed to play.
No,
which, I mean, it's kind of bittersweet. I was like, that's kind of cool, but also but now I don't have a rugby team to play for, so I had to find a girls team from there.
What about you?
My school actually had a rugby academy. I'm not sure if it was just for the 6th form, but when I was in year 7, I think it was just for the 6th form. And then my school turned to rugby academy for the whole school, for the boys first. So, which is pretty unheard of. I went to school in Crystal Palace, so South London, pretty unheard of to have a school with a rugby academy there. And it was, very funny, like coming to school and seeing a rugby team full of big black boys. I think it was very unheard of and very, unusual to see. But for me, having that there, probably didn't take any notice of it in the first 2 years, but randomly, that's how I got into rugby, was through my school, was just pulled into a random game. And because they have the rugby academy and they have like links to other clubs, and they had coaches like Brian, Hannah Duffy, who's also in Harlequins now, who like encouraged girls to go to play rugby outside of school and stuff like that. It actually was a big thing, school, which is a big thing, and rugby, that those two came hand in hand for me. So I think my school was pretty unusual, maybe an anomaly in South London, but I was lucky to go there, but
Okay, no, so I actually want to hear you guys' individual stories, because about how you actually grew up into rugby. For example, you said that you started playing when you were 6, so does that mean that your parents were really into rugby? Nowadays it's like when you talk about football and people having kids, are like the Mbappe project, right? Because they want their kids to be like the best footballer. Was it sort of like that, like your parents were really on you to be like doing rugby?
No, not really. So where I live, there's only 2 other houses, so it's quite rural. And I was playing out with, and my neighbours are similar ages to me, and we were playing out with the 2 boys. We've got 2 boys and 2 girls, and they were leaving to go to the rugby session or whatever. And I just thought, oh, that's unfair, because now I'm on my own, and you can't play football on your own. You can't play TIG on your own or whatever it's called. And so I kind of just said, oh, well, can I come down to rugby? And for me, it's really weird. I had a split second where I thought, should I do rugby or should I play the drums? No idea why. And I just remember that. And then I ended up going down to the session, and I think we might have played a game that first thing. I was passing the ball forward, I was running backwards, I was doing cartwheels every 2 seconds. I had no idea what I was doing. It was a typical boys looking around, oh God, girly. I go home. Whose sister's that? And yeah, I loved that. I loved that the boys were looking around, and I knew that I was probably faster than them. So I was like, I'm gonna run around you, and you're gonna look silly. You look so silly. So yeah, did that, and then my brother is a few years younger than me, so he ended up joining in a little bit later. But my parents never pushed me. They always said, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. And there's a couple of times, you know, when you play on it and you milk it a bit, and I was like, I want to quit. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want your mum and dad to be like, oh no, don't do that. And they went, well, don't do it then. I was like, that's not the response I wanted. But yeah, they definitely supported me. I had to drive so far when it was coming into just playing with girls. The local club for me, that was all girls, was about an hour away.
Oh wow.
So obviously I couldn't drive at that age, and so mum and dad took me all around the country, and I played all sports. I did rugby league, rugby union on a Saturday, so one after another, and then Sunday I'd go play football. So hats off to them to drive.
Shout out mum and dad for real. What about you, Shaunagh?
So I didn't start playing rugby till I was 25 years old. I was busy before that. I was doing athletics, and in fact, like with Sadia, I used to coach in her school as well. Oh wow! But athletics and not Sadia. Like Sadia was like, no, I already got a coach. I don't need you. Right, no worries. I'll work with the other young people. No worries. So yeah, I was very much into my athletics, like, and it culminated in me going to the Commonwealth Games in 2014 as a hammer thrower representing England, and then it just got to a stage, as is my personality, like, nah, I'm moving on now. I need to move on. Need a new challenge, and like just always looking for new things to do. So yeah, I just started playing rugby, and I didn't know it existed. All I knew about rugby is that you would get the big fat rugby boys come down in the summer, because rugby is a winter sport. Yeah, and because they're the big boys, their PE teachers told them to do shot put. So I used to do shot put, discus and hammer. It's like, oh, you're big and can't run, go and do shot put, which is not the case, by the way. Some of the best throwers in the world are slim, athletic machines. But yeah, it's just like, why are these boys coming here like every May and taking up my circle time? So I didn't, my first relationship with rugby was a very negative one. And then we would joke about, oh, maybe one day you should play rugby. I was like, I'm not doing that. Doesn't make no sense. Like winter sport, being outside in the mud, in the snow, no sense. It's not for me. And look at me now. But it was, so 25, started playing with my local club at the time. So I moved out from Peckham, moved out to Gillingham. And then my closest club was Medway Rugby Club. Started there and had a season with Kent, but then even with Medway it was only half a season. And again, my personality was like, I need more, because I went to watch the women play in a Six Nations game and turned to my mum, and she's used to it, and I just went, I could do that. She said, all right then. And I said, I'm going to play rugby for England. In that moment, I literally decided in my head, I'm going to play rugby for England. And mum is very much, all right, fine, go do it then. Like, do what you need to do. And again, that's how my brain works. Once I want to do something, I'm going to make it happen. Whether I have to move mountains, make sacrifices, give things up, take things on, whatever it is, I'm then going to make it happen. And less than 2 years after having my first ever game of rugby, I was getting my first cap. So my first game. My first game for England in, what was it, 2019. I had my first game for England.
Oh, wow.
Aged 27.
Wow.
Yeah, so still just having a go for one. I've only popped in. These girls are veterans. I've only popped in.
And what about you?
I got into rugby in my school, but when I was about 12, 13. But before that, I did gymnastics for about 3 years. I feel like every mum puts their kids in gymnastics. And my older brother was also a gymnast, so I wanted to be like him. He quit, and I was like, I guess it's time for me to quit as well. And then went into athletics. Started out, I thought I started out as a sprinter. I quickly...
Everyone starts as a sprinter.
But the throwing coach, like every session I'd come, I see him getting closer and closer to me. He's like, excuse me, come over here. He said, actually, I think you should come and start throwing. So eventually I did hang up the spikes that were probably fresh. did not use them. Started doing shot put for a while. I did that. I did it probably religiously for about a year. Got to maybe county level, got bored, changed to hammer. Did hammer, and I actually really liked hammer for a while. Got to about county level, got bored. And then at this time I was already playing rugby, and the nature of athletics and rugby training, because there's so much of it, it was really hard to balance. And at this point I was really enjoying rugby. Decided to quit athletics and start rugby properly. But my story of getting into it was I was just in school in the lesson, and I was I was like that kid in school who the PTs would just take anywhere.
Yeah.
Not because I could do the sports, but because I would volunteer and say I'd come. Cricket, trampolining, I'd just go. And they had numbers down in the game, picked me up. Went to the game. I actually had no idea what was going on, but apparently I liked it. And then was encouraged to go play outside of school, and ever since, just been playing since then.
Okay.
So, Goldie, I actually said I got my first cap in 2019.
Yeah.
All the cameras here, it's just 2017.
2017.
I was already playing for England for 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. It's the other 2 years. 2 years the other side. Yeah.
Bringing it to present day now, obviously you guys are with the Red Roses. Talk to me a little bit. How does it feel, playing with the Red Roses? What's the best part of it?
What I like about Red Roses is that we can all come together. Like, us guys are friends, but for example, Sadia lives in Loughborough now, and it brings all your friends together in one place. And because we are a really strong team, when you're on the pitch, especially when it comes to game time, there's a real sense of camaraderie. We know we're good, but we know that we're pushed constantly. And there's some really tough teams out there. Teams are only getting better as well.
Yeah.
Especially when we play against France. Everyone comes off with cuts and there's blood and you just think it's like you're going to war.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you can see how much work everyone puts in. It's so hard. Training is so hard. Constantly chasing the intensity and keep on getting harder and harder every session that we're going into. So everyone's going through it, and everyone's putting everything into it, which is quite nice to be part of. To know that you're not the only person struggling, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I like. I like the downtime as well is also nice. When you're in camp, because you go into camps and you stay in certain places for, it can be 1 week, it can be 2 weeks, it can be, well, when it comes to World Cup, it's going to be a couple of months. So you've got your little groups. I found my group and I absolutely love it. I've got a girl that plays the guitar, so I can just sit there pretending that I'm part of a band, and she plays I say, play this song, and I'll sing along as if I'm a singer, which I'm very much not. But it's it's good. It's good laughs, and it's good to really get involved with.
I produce and record.
Okay. I'm not. You rap and sing on it.
Yeah. I'm not musically talented, but I can write things down and I can push record on the camera. So that's my role in that group. For me, I like winning. I love winning, and to be part of a winning team. Like, I am a winner, and I want to be part of a winning team. And England are number one in the world, and in the autumn internationals last year, beating New Zealand by a record amount of points, that's why I do it. It's the winning that goes with it.
Yeah.
And then separate to that, it's the off-pitch stuff, and I talk about my why in life, and just me physically playing rugby for England inspires so many other young people, and in fact not just young people, just people of any genders, of any orientation, just for them to see me playing rugby and not even do the extras on social media, not do the extras to talk to other people, but just turning up on a pitch inspires other people to do whatever it is they want to do in life, whether that's something different. It might be rugby, it might be sport, it might be something in their career, it might be taking up a new hobby, just meeting new people. And I get messages from young people and their parents, on a weekly basis, basically just saying thank you. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for being real on social media. Thank you for talking as honestly as I do. Because it's not all daisies. I wake up probably 6 out of 7 days a week and I can't walk.
Yeah.
I struggle to get down the stairs. I can't even sit on the toilet without falling on because my knees are gone. And I just think, why do I do it? Literally, why do I do it? And I play a game on a Saturday and I'll go coaching on a Sunday morning with my girls at my local club, Gillingham and Corians, and I'm literally wake up, I thought, why do I do this? It's Sunday morning, I've just played 80 minutes yesterday, and then I'll get there and I've got all these little busy bees going, Shaunagh, I'm like, that's
this
why
is why I do it. Yeah. That must be a great feeling.
It's more, actually, in fact, I'll be honest and say it's more the off-pitch stuff that does it for me as to why I want to play for England, because while I've got a platform and trying to increase my platform, people then listen to me and sort of my moral and social issues that I talk about even more.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. What would you say are some of the mispreconceptions people have around rugby?
It's only for posh boys.
Yeah.
It's only for boys.
It's for angry women.
Yeah, or gay women is another one.
Yeah.
Or women who want to be men. Even as we sit here in front of you, we're 3 different shaped people.
Yeah.
We're 3 different abilities. Ellie's the runner. Sadia's the runner and tackler. I just plod around the pitch.
Sean is the bulldozer.
Yeah, literally, when there's nothing else, that something needs clearing up, all right, I'll just carry the ball into these 4 people and then open up space for people like Ellie. And like, we've all got our roles, and so many different types of people are needed in rugby. And in answer to your question, like, the preconceptions are that it is only for a certain type of people, it is only for a certain skin type, and when you do see someone who looks a bit different on the pitch, they're only an anomaly. Like, we need to change that, and the fact that it's only played in private schools when it's not, as Sadia spoke about earlier, it's very much played in her school, well, her old school, and they have an academy. So yeah, it's just increasing, and going back to the fact that it's on BBC and it's open up to accessibility. And me growing up, people didn't play or watch or even know what rugby was, but it's just seeing, actually, it's an incredible piece of entertainment.
Yeah.
And like any sport, what it does for you as a person, there's so much effect on the other side of life, as in it teaches you to be on time, teaches you to be disciplined, it teaches you to learn how to work with other people, it teaches you about yourself, like how you work, how to get the best out of you, how to get the best out of your teammates. Because I coming from athletics was an individual sport, and it was all about me, which is not a bad thing in my head, but it's now learning other people, and not only learning how to get the best out of me, but how to get the best out of them. And that is a direct correlation to what you can do in a workplace. And so many employers recognise that and know that, like, they want athletes and they want female athletes in their workplace. And you look at, like, I don't know the numbers, but if you look at the boardrooms of FTSE 100 companies, the women that are in the boardrooms, like, there's not enough women, but that's a whole different subject.
Yeah.
But the women that are in there have usually got a connection to sports somehow.
Yeah. Okay, wow. I feel
Yeah, I get deep. Goldie, this is my heart when you're talking here.
For me, I mean, I completely agree with everything that Shaunagh's saying, and just to touch on the, like, all being different body size and everything. Growing up, everyone's always been like, Ellie, you're not big enough to be a rugby player. Or I say to my friends, why do you get involved with rugby? And like, because look at the size of me. And I'm like, not even a height, not on the height side of it. More like, I'm not very heavy. You don't have to be big to play rugby. And as much as people say to the bigger girls or bigger women, oh, you should get yourself into rugby, you're a big girl. You don't have to be. My aim is to not get tackled. Yeah. I do not like tackled. I don't like tackled. I don't like being tackled. But that is why I try to not be tackled. And for me, it's more like anybody can play rugby. It doesn't matter if you are bigger. Yes, that's great. You'll probably be in the forwards. If you're smaller and you feel like you're a bit slimmer or anything like that, you're probably going to be in the backs. And each have got very different roles. Because people even say it now, oh, Ellie, you're looking quite small. Oh, Ellie, eat a burger. And I'm thinking, I train so hard. Yeah. I train so hard to be where I am. And there's plenty of other girls out there. You have conversations with people. I've had conversations with people's dads, and so are you gonna let her play rugby? And he's like, no, I won't let her play rugby. And I think, why would you not let her play rugby? Because they think that it is all big people that play there. It's strong people. It's that you're gay. Constantly I get, has anybody ever tried to kiss you or anything like that? And I think, no, it isn't like that. People don't understand. And actually, I think it's a 50-50 split, or even that there's more straight people in the team than there is gay people anyway. Yeah. So there's just stereotypes everywhere. And I think as well, if you look at who we... on Instagram, you can see your insights and who follows you and stuff. And it's usually the young girls or their parents, or you get the odd weird old man, but
they're not weird. They might just be a fan. Like,
when they're sending fire emojis at everything, I'm like, But then I think the category we're missing is, you see these boys that are almost like hooligans for rugby, who that would really change the game, having them supporting us, but they've got that mindset that we're all big, strong, or not even strong, we're just big fat lesbians. It doesn't matter if you are gay, that doesn't matter, but for them they think, no, can't get with any of them at the end of the game anyway. So it's just that it is open for everybody. You can look good and play rugby. I got my
guilty.
I actually got my hair plaited, so girls get their hair plaited for the game. And it was up until maybe a couple months ago that I realised people do it for a practical side of things.
Yeah.
I got it because it looked nice.
Yeah.
That's how I needed my hair. I didn't need it.
Yeah.
I just thought everyone did it to look pretty. But yeah, that's just a massive thing as well. We're not all the stereotype. We don't all just love getting dirty and stay away from it.
I hate getting muddy. Honestly, when it's muddy, I'm like, do I have to go to
It's getting the hair muddy, that's the worst.
Yeah. And when you got your braids in, so that's
big struggle.
Not ideal.
No.
All right, guys, so you lot seem like a pretty close-knit team, and I think just to break things up, let's play a little like who's more likely kind of game, yeah?
Out of us three?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to throw some shades or something like that.
Let's go.
We got camp this week.
Who do you think is the funniest or the joker out of the group?
Ooh.
Out of us three
Yeah.
or the whole group? Us three.
Let's do you three and then maybe the whole group, because you never know.
No, we keep it us three.
Who's the funniest?
I would say Ellie because she's on another planet.
Well, yeah,
all of the time.
Not intentionally.
People laughing at me, that's what it is. But you know what, if I hear people laugh, I do things to make them laugh at
More,
me.
yeah.
I think that's going to be so funny. I'll just do
Yeah.
this. I like making people, it gives me an ego boost.
Who's the more organised one?
Definitely not me.
Yeah, I'd say Shaunagh.
Definitely Shaunagh, yeah.
I
Okay,
am
cool.
also quite a bit older than him.
You also organised today, so
Yeah. Who's the one that's always late?
That's between them two. They'll probably rock up late together.
I'm not involved.
Sorry, saying that Shaunagh was late today. No, I got a bike today and I was going through London.
You did a triathlon today.
She
Yeah.
did a triathlon.
Hell for leather through London, one-handed, and I am not a London girl. I had no idea where I was going. I was thinking, I'm on a back street and I don't know where I am. But I was like, I am not going to be late. I'm not going to be late today. So I'm late most of the time.
That's not a shock of Ellie, because she called me and I thought, what is it? She said, yeah, I'm getting a bike. I thought, I'm not surprised, but that's another thing that makes her so funny. I thought it was so
So she also called asking for my bank details because hers wasn't working for this bike.
Oh my
For Santander bikes, I didn't have my. So again, I was like, I'm going to be so
I was going through it
organised.
this morning, okay?
I was like, I'm going to be so organised, going to be so on time. I'm going to pack my bag last night. I packed my bag and put another bag in the car, parked the car in a VIP place. I spent like £15 on. I was like, oh God. Only to forget my purse. And I was like, well, I can't get a Santander bike, so one of the girls will have to pull through for me.
Okay, so when you lot are on trips or travelling, who's always in charge of the aux cord, or like who has the most... When it comes to music, they're the ones that we go to.
We've got our preferences.
we love our preference.
Between us three, Shaunagh would say, Shaunagh put on the music because she's often got a speaker as well.
Yeah.
There's a few girls in the team that fancy the aux cord. that's when your headphones come on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a good song. Just want to say. Oh, what do you say to it? Oh yeah, sorry, just on the phone. Yeah, because there's a lot of Taylor Swifts going around.
Not Taylor Swift.
You've
Taylor
got
Swift.
some girls that they're probably addicted to SoundCloud, and when you get that dubstep remix where it goes into strokes, and you're like, oh God, what is going on here? And then the mashups where there's one song going in the background, but it's like a country song over the top, and you're thinking it's not working.
Yeah.
So and there's a certain group of girls where they are stuck in the 80s, and
No.
I think
And they weren't born in the 80s.
They weren't born in the
That's
80s.
bit I don't get.
No, they weren't born in the 80s, but they'll just keep on playing it. And I'm thinking, God, I feel like I'm in a room with my dad. But yeah, so that's when the headphones come on again. So if it was between us three, I'd probably say...
Yeah, we'd like Shaunagh.
All right.
I'm just happy to be here. I just sit there. I'm like, I'm new. I'm not going to say anything.
And who would you say out of you three is the leader of the pack, or like, the leader of the group?
I'd say Shaunagh.
Yeah, sure.
But
Shaunagh's just like,
I'm getting old. I'm nearly past my time, so I'm working on giving it to somebody else as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm constantly on Sadia. Like, have you got Twitter yet? Have you do this? You need to tweet about this. You need to put this bit out.
Yeah.
And it's just like trying to empower other people as well, because it's like I am a lot older than these girls. Probably like 10 years, some of them. But it's the taking that as a role. But then it's about what's next. Like it's not about me. I want to help everyone else who's coming up as well.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I don't have no more who's more, who's the best questions for you. But just before...
I can do one.
Go on then.
Who's the best hairdresser?
Oh yeah, Sadia.
I won't brag.
I don't mean to toot my own horn, but it is me.
So she does her own braids.
Yeah, I was
8
gonna say.
hours of her own hair.
That is a tough topic for me.
in camp, I went in, so in pre-season, I went into a room trying to find her.
Yeah.
I was like, there's some hair hanging from your wardrobe.
You got to find time anyway.
I knew exactly what it was, but I was like, why's the hair on the wardrobe? Then
trails of hair following me about. Yeah.
Next day, she came to training with a new
woman.
hairstyle.
Hey.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
She's revelised.
Do you like to keep my hair in good condition? Not today. Yeah, today's been a rough day. I won't lie to you.
Still looks cute.
Sometimes I let Tasha Harper, I let her do my hair, and there's a couple of times I've said to her, yeah, you just do whatever you want to do, and I'll have about 20 little plaits on the top of my head. I'm like, yeah, it's
nice. Circling back to obviously, women in sport. Here on Rinse, actually, we have our own female Rinse football team that we just started, just to tackle some issues with gender equality in the music and media industries, as well as raising money for charity, which we thought was a really cool idea. And just supporting young women and young girls. What do you think could be done more to promote women in sport in this country?
I think just speaking to them like this, I think it really gives a good insight to us as people, because everyone can be sat in an interview and say the exact same things, because you almost get not a script, but you get certain things you can say and certain things you can't say.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I think you've got to know people personally, and that's how you can get people following the game. We get family and friends coming to matches because they know us, and then they can put two and two together and be like, I know why she's doing that on the pitch. I know the feeling that she's going through. So I just think it's being able to speak in a really relaxed manner and just getting to know people. I introduce myself to as many people as I can do, and make sure people know that I am personable. I'm not going to sit here saying, "Oh, I eat fish and a rice cake." Oh yeah, because I don't.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry, did you say fish and a rice cake?
Have you not seen that video?
Oh no, sorry.
There's a video where it's an athlete and he's like, "Oh well, what do you have for breakfast?" I have a fish and a rice cake. And what do you have for dinner? Fish and a rice cake. And, so I just like doing that, and I think that massively grows the game. And I think as well, social media, I'm actually about to do a dissertation on this, but social media I think is a good thing for women in sport, because as much as it's got a lot of negative connotations and there's a lot of pressures in social media, I think if you're confident in yourself and the people that you're reaching out to, or vice versa, you can really see it as a platform to massively grow yourself, as well as the things that you're involved with. Like, it just grows the game, because I've got 11.5k followers on Instagram. I don't know that many people, but they might feel like they know me, so then they have an invested interest in what I'm doing, and they might say, "Oh, well, I'm here today. Oh, that's quite cool. You're on a radio. Oh, I'm actually playing this weekend. Oh, we might come down and watch." Yeah. Because we feel like we know you. My daughters know you. My friends want to get to know you. And you get people screaming your name. And I'm like, what? Yeah. I went over to, there was a group of girls and they were all going, Ellie, like really nervous. And I went over to them. I said, come on, guys. Like, you're all a bit old. They all looked my age or a bit older. And I said, play it cool at least. And then as I was walking away, one of the girls was like, my friend really likes your hair. And I was like, okay. It's just getting to know people on a really personal level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the bigger topics that everyone goes for is like social media and funding and advertisement. But I think for me, it would be like starting young, like starting in schools. I think, watching Shaunagh be on my little mini agent. One of the big things for me, especially as I grow my career, is like going in and out of schools and starting young. Because for me, I started in my school. Yeah. And I feel like if a lot of other girls had the opportunity, like we'd see so much more women's rugby or women's sport around. Yeah. And actually this Monday, me and Bryony are going into a school for International Women's Week to do a session and just introduce rugby to the girls and to the sport in school. Yeah. But I think that's where the main way of like growing women's sport is starting in schools and starting young and having those role models coming into schools and like showing the girls that it is fine to be a strong muscly girl, it is fun to play sport and it's fun too. Mm-hmm. But I think, for me that would be the main point that I would say would be somewhere to start.
Okay, amazing.
So completely agree with Ellie and Sadia. to add to it, I'd go even earlier than Sadia and actually look at how we treat girls. And like, I am talking girls as they're growing up. So as soon as they're born, people want to know, is it a girl or boy? Because, and I say, why do you want to know? Because it's going to determine what I buy them. Well, what are you going to buy? Tractors and dinosaurs for boys, and are you going to buy flowers and petals for girls? Like, why not buy some flowers for a boys? Why not buy a t-shirt that's got a truck on it for a girl? Like, as soon as we're born, we're put into boxes, and that boxes we're supposed to be in. And as soon as someone steps outside of that box, whether a parent's helping you do it, as in my case, like constantly I was told I was a boy, I was a he, she, I was a man. And like my mum empowered me to say, like, carry on, you do your thing. But as soon as you step outside of that box, you get like berated from so many people. And it's not always the obvious, the blatant stuff. It's not always the direct name calling. But sometimes it's like, as Ellie spoke about earlier, oh, you play rugby. And even just that moment, it's like the taken back shock. And like, it's not a nice feeling, because if you're getting that constantly, and we do as women and as rugby players, like, oh, because I've been a commercial diver, I've been a firefighter, and it's like, oh, you're a firefighter. Oh, you're a commercial diver. What? Why? What? That's not even a question. It's not a question to most people. It's not a question to men. So why are we treating that? You look at playgrounds. So, like, again, Goldie, this is my heart. Like, we can go real deep. Like, you go to a playground. So I've got plenty of nephews, a couple of nieces. There's loads of children in my family, and you go to a park. Have a look at what the girls are wearing and what the boys are wearing. The boys are in shorts, T-shirts, tracksuits, trainers, running around, having a great time, smashing into each other. Fine. And that's what boys do. That's acceptable. Then you look at what the girls are wearing. Girls have got dresses on. They've got skirts on. They've got flip-flops, sandals. And they're not running around. And people, oh, that's the girls. Girls being nice, sitting down, playing nicely with each other. Look at the boy. No, it's probably because the sandals hurt their feet. It's probably because when they go upside down on the monkey bars, their knickers come out because they've got a dress on. Like, and that was me. That was why I stopped wearing dresses and skirts to school, because it meant I couldn't hang upside down on the monkey bars. And again, like, my mum said, that's fine. I literally went home one day and said, Mum, don't want to wear a skirt or dress again because I can't hang upside down on the monkey bars. She went, okay, not a problem. But like, I'm sure there are a lot of other families in this world who would say, no, you're a girl, you must wear a skirt and dress. And then again, like, we go even deeper. You talk about primary schools who still force girls to wear a skirt or dress. Like, in 2022, you have schools that say girls can't wear trousers. Honestly, it blows my mind. Like, how is that even legal? But it is. Like, they're not breaking the law, not saying anything like that. But, you know, you go to primary school as a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old girl, you're actively encouraged to not run around because of school uniform. So, like, it's just it goes so deep. It goes so deep.
Well, I'm not going to lie. It's been a pleasure, and it's been very eye-opening. And I felt like, you know, when you feel it inside, you're like, nah, this is serious. I honestly felt it. But before I let you guys go, I want each of you guys to give me a one-liner, if just to encourage any women, young girls out there who want to get into sport or try something new in a male-dominated industry. What would it be?
A one-liner.
Just like a one-liner.
I've got mine's a go-to that I always say. Lukewarm is no good.
That's a good one.
It's a quote by Roald Dahl, and it basically there's a longer version of it, but it's basically, if you're gonna do something, do it 100%, and you've got to be passionate about it. You got to hug it, embrace it, because lukewarm is no good, and that's for life. Like, you're not ever gonna get a change if you don't put everything and more into it. You're going to stay constant, and you'll think, oh, why is nothing changing? But if you do something just a little bit further, whether it be a good change or a bad change that you get from it, you'll get something.
Oh God.
Or even just a word of encouragement. It doesn't have to be on one-liner, but
I think I would just say being sporty is cool, being strong is cool, being muscly is cool. I think there's a lot of stigma around young girls, just girls in general, having to be feminine and, you know, not play the rough sports or not play sport in general because it's not seen as something that women, like, or lots of women do. But I think just knowing that is something that is cool, and it is very cool. If you see us women and you see our Instagrams and you see us, you probably think, they do look pretty cool. That looks pretty fun. But just knowing that, it's nothing to be scared of, nothing to be ashamed about. It's something that a lot of us do, and a lot of us should be doing too.
100%. Shaunagh?
I'll go with a quote. So my favourite quote, and I've got it tattooed on me as well. If not now, then when? If not me, then who? So it's just like, if you want to do it, just go and do it.
Be
and
the change you want to see.
Yeah, exactly. And you might have to make sacrifices. You might have to say no to going out with your friends a couple of times. You might have to have a few more trainers in your wardrobe than shoes, but you might not. Like, just go out and do it. And if somebody else isn't doing it, go and be that first person in the room. And some people talk about, like, if you can't see it, you can't be it. Well, I would suggest if you can't see it, then go and be it. Like, just be your only type of person in the room. Find out who you are, get your confidence, and then just go for it. Yeah. If not now, then when?
For real. And where can we keep up with you guys? What's your socials? TikToks, Instagrams, Twitters, Facebook. Where can we keep up with you guys?
So mine is Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. They're all Shaunagh Brown. So it's SHAUNAGH Brown on all three.
I'm the same, all platforms the same, and it's just Ellie Kildunne. Ellie spelled normally, and then KILDUNNE. Pretty easy.
Yeah, Instagram, Twitter, Sadia Kabeya. My TikTok is anonymous.
It'd be like user 379.
It is that. I'm going to use the name. That's literally what it is. So
okay, no, fair enough. It's been amazing speaking to you girls. And if you guys are listening, don't forget that the girls' first game is on Saturday, the 26th of March. Scotland versus England at the Dam Health Stadium in Edinburgh. And kickoff is at midday. You can also watch it on the BBC. And if you're at home thinking, how do I get involved in rugby? Don't forget that you guys can check out where your closest team play. It's most definitely won't be as far out as you guys think, as you guys can hear from everyone's story and experience. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us here at Rinse FM. It's been a pleasure speaking to you guys for International Women's Day. And I might have to just get into a little bit of rugby. So yeah, no, thank you guys.
Thank you.